Hey guys, so today we're going to be learning about comparators. Now over here we have a bunch of items that can compare signals so that it would go off. But first, this is how you build a comparator. So 3 stone, you guys see it. Alright. So the first one is the music disc or whatever. So each disc puts out a different pulse. So what a comparator does, it reads what's inside the block by percentage, and then it powers that many redstone. So redstone can go 15 blocks, so 100% inside of a block would go 15 blocks. But there's some exceptions, and we'll talk about them as we go along. The first exception actually is this one right here. If we place a music disc inside, that would be 100%, right? Yes, but it only does one signal because each music disc puts out a different signal. So if you go to the creative menu and you go to miscellaneous and you scroll down, you see all these music discs, right? Each one has a, this stupid annoying music, okay. Each one puts out a different power to the redstone. So it actually goes in order, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, it goes 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and so on. So that's the first comparator, or that's what the first one does. This next one is a furnace, and what it does is it has 3 slots. So if the first one is full, it would go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would turn on 6 redstone. If the second one is full, it would go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You would think it would go to 12, but whatever. And then when all 3 of them are full, it would just go right to the end. Okay, so that's that. And a chest is the percentage, so it would go to 100%. Right now it's at 3 because there's 4 things in there. Non-stackable items count as like 1 stack, like this. Like this is not a non-stackable item, so if this chest was full, it would the redstone current will go to 15, but right now it's not. It's just that much. So one row would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's 3 rows, so 5 times 3 is 15, and that works out. Okay. Hopper works exactly the same with the percentage-wise, except it only has 5 boxes. So if you put in 1, it automatically goes to 4. So if we just fill it up, it goes all the way to 15, see? Alright. Now a daylight sensor works very oddly. If you put a comparator down, it goes to 15 right now, but if say it was in the middle of the day, like it is now, it would go to 15. But if it's closer to nighttime, what it would do is it would subtract 1 redstone. So here, let me show you. if we set time to day, it's the beginning of the day. It's the morning, so it's not the middle of the day, so it wouldn't go all the way to the end. So what it does is, this is the time from nighttime, the shortest time from nighttime. So it was this long ago, it was nighttime. And then as the day progresses, I think it just blinked on. As the day progresses, it would light up even more. So if we switch this to day, it would be 4, and that would be 11. And if we switch it back, this would be 11, and this would be, well, it just turned on again, so it would be 3. So that just tells you how long night is from day. Okay. So this next one is a cauldron. So if we go and fill it up with water, it would go to 4 because there's only 4 stages. So if we get a glass, there's only 4 things. So it would go 3, 2, and then none. It's weird. It's very weird. I don't know why that happens. It should be 100%, but this is one of those exceptions, because there's 1, 2, 3. So I guess it goes 4 blocks. I don't know. Just that's what happens. I don't know why, but that's what happens. This is one of the things where it fills up in percentage. So if we fill this with all 9, it would go to 15. And each one we take away, as you can see right over here, it's going down. Each one I take away. And the same rule applies for the dropper. It really doesn't matter what item you put in, as long as it's full, like that. Okay, now this cake is actually really weird, because if you put a comparator down, that's a full cake right there, and it would go to 14. I have no idea why, but it just goes to 14. And if we eat it, so if you eat the cake, it would go down gradually until there's no cake left. This next brewing station, if you put a water bottle in it, let me break this. If you put 1 water bottle in it, it would go 5 spaces, and same for the rest. If you put 3 water bottles, it'll go up to 12. And then if there is something in this top area right here, then it would go all the way to 15. This last one is really weird. You get a frame, you put a picture on it. It doesn't matter what picture it is. I'm doing an arrow right now. Okay, so when the arrow is in the first position, the original position, it gives a signal strength of 1. When it's in the second, it gives 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 8. And when it goes back to the original, it goes back down to 1. So it never goes higher than 8. Okay, so explaining this is the most hard thing in the entire world. This is so complicated. So I'm going to cry, but let me just explain this. So when it's in compare mode, the comparator, when it's in compare mode, you know it's in compare mode when this front torch is off. See how it's on? Now it's in subtract mode. It's off. Now it's in compare mode. So the rear input, which is input A, see, input A, and the side input is input B. Both of them are input B, both sides. And the output is C. The output is C. So when it's in compare mode, it will compare its rear input, input A, to its 2 sides, input B. If either side input is greater than the rear input, the comparator output turns off. If neither side input is greater than the rear input, the comparator simply outputs the same signal strength as its rear input. So what this means is that it takes the two sides, which is B, and since input B, both of these input B's have a signal strength less than input A, you could find the signal strength by taking the number of redstone near the thing that's powering the redstone. So this is 1 redstone dust. This is 2 redstone dust. You take the second redstone dust. Then you take the number 15, because that's how far a full signal strength can go. You take the number 15, and you subtract it. So this is 2 redstone dust. So you take 1, because you don't count the first redstone dust. You take 1, and then you take 15, and then you subtract it by 1. So 15 minus 1, this is a signal strength of 14. This is a signal strength of 15 because it has 1 redstone dust leading to its being powered. This is a signal strength of 13 because it has 3 redstone dust, 1, 2, 15 minus 2 is 13. Okay. Moving on, since input B and the second input B are both lower than this power strength of input A, the comparator sends the signal strength of input A. So this is a signal strength of 15, so it would go 15 blocks that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it sends a signal strength of 15. Now, if the signal strength of B is higher than the signal strength of input A, then the entire comparator shuts the redstone current off from output C. So what happens is input B is a signal strength of 15 because it has 1 redstone dust, and input A has a signal strength of 14 because it has 2, so 15 minus 1 is 14. So this has a signal strength of 14, this has a signal strength of 15. It outputs nothing because B is higher than A. And even if we put any redstone signal on the other side of B, it would still be nothing because one of the input B's have a higher signal strength than input A. Okay. So moving on to subtract mode. This is a bit more complicated. So a redstone comparator in subtract mode, you know this when the torch is on. See, the front torch is on. It will subtract the signal strength of the highest side input, which is input B, the highest input B, from the signal strength of input A, and the minimum strength is 0. So, for example, we have an input strength of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You do not count the last one. 15 minus 11 is 4. So we have a signal strength of 4 here. And then we have a signal strength of 14 here. And it should output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it would take input A subtract it from the highest input B. So if we had input B of 14, it would be input A minus the highest input B. So it would be 14 minus 14, which is 0. But if we have 14 minus the redstone strength of 4, so 14 minus 4 gives you 10. So this is a signal strength of 10. It would go at 10. That's what subtract mode does. It takes the highest input B and it subtracts it from input A. So input A minus the highest input B. I know I'm repeating myself 100 times, but it's incredibly hard to explain and probably even harder to understand. That's why I'm repeating myself. Let's move on to what we could do with these comparator items. Now, explaining this is incredibly hard. When you turn this lever on, it would go back and forth. This needs to be in subtract mode because it does input A minus input B. So when this is off, when I turn this on, input A is 15 minus input B, which is 0. So 15 minus 0 is 15. Then it would send a signal strength of 15 from output C, but output C is connected to input B. So what it does, it powers B. It powers input B, giving a signal strength of what, like 14 or 13? Yeah, 13. Shutting this off because 15 minus 13 is only 15 minus 13 is only 2. So that would be 2, but then when it's an output strength of 2, it would only go here and not over here. It would not power this. So this would be off, so then it would be 15 minus 0 again, and it would keep happening in that cycle, leaving you with this mechanism. So yeah, you can use that for dispensers. I'm going to post a video on dispensers, hoppers, and droppers someday. I don't know when, but I have it ready to be made into a video. Yeah, we already talked about that, so yeah, I think that's it. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. This was incredibly hard for me to explain. I'm sorry if you still don't understand it. I will leave in the description the explanation that Minecraft wiki gave for me, because that's pretty much the best explanation that you're gonna get. Stay tuned for redstone tutorial on rails, redstone tutorial on pistons, and redstone tutorial on hoppers, droppers, and dispensers. So yeah, that's it, guys. Bye. Redstone current, it opens, this one, opens,